you guys. So I'm going to be covering your packet for October 26th, and page 1 is linear equations, number solutions. You are only required, this misprinted, so let me just go to the back. This is a quick breakdown of how to figure out how many solutions there are to linear equations, because there can be multiple, and this builds on lesson 51. If you notice on here, on your assignments, 51 was assigned before today. So if you're caught up, then you will have already covered linear equations and it won't be odd. If you are a little bit behind, but you still want to get all the points for your packet's up to like 100 points or so, because I know we're long distance. I know it just might feel like extra work, but we're going to do some cool activities with this packet when we get together. I'll cover that more in a second. But you can go to Nicole the Math Lady lesson 51 and you can watch the videos on linear equations and graphing them. So this gives you a breakdown of what linear equations are and how to find multiple, no solution or multiple solutions to them. And then you're responsible. This is that same worksheet, but Chloe's the top, printed funky. You're only responsible for 4 of the problems. So Chloe has these 4. You guys have a box with your name for the 4 problems you're responsible for, and that's going to help us when we come together as a class and work as a team to put these together. So please, it does matter to complete it, and there are a lot of points for completing these worksheets, because you know these will really help solidify your knowledge and give you some practical fun application opportunities, and then to be able to bring it together as a class will be really great. The same with this one. Now this is going to go more into what Nicole the Math Lady is talking about with the graphing the linear equations. So you are treasure seeking. You each have one box of 2 equations. Chloe has the middle one, someone has this one, and someone has this one. So you're really only working out 2 of them. We'll come together again as a class and do an activity for this where we bring our work together. But in these linear equations, when you have an x and y and you're graphing, you solve for y. If the equation is not written to solve for y, then you rewrite it and you move the x to one side and the y to one side all by itself. The y is all by itself, right? And you create this formula. Now, you can put any value for x, but let me tell you one quick little trick. So say you have, this may be backwards, I'm going to rewatch this, but this says 2/5 x minus 5. So 2/5, this is a positive number. If I put 5 as x, then I can cancel out the 5, the denominator of 5 and the 5, and just have 2 minus 5, which is -3. That's going to give me a really quick answer. I can also put, but then I would also want to put the negative in there. So then I would put the -5 times the +5, and that, I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, sorry. So that would cancel, and then you have the 2, and, because I'm looking at this backwards, sorry. If I put -5, and that, because we're multiplying, that negative would make this a -2 minus 5, which is -7. I do believe. I really am like running on very low sleep. So anyway, the point is you get 2 points that you can graph and come up with your answer. And then once you have those 2 points on different spectrums, right, a positive and negative or whatever, you should have a long enough line of a graph to be able to like find which treasure box matches each of these equations. Now I don't want this to be overkill, so that's why you're splitting it up as a class and just taking 2. This is really about just getting some real practice, and then we are going to use this for an activity when we meet together, okay? So it's not useless time. Then, this is pretty cool. This is the cube crystal is Chloe's. You each have a totally different 4-quadrant mystery hidden picture. And your instructions are on this side. If you've never done these before, I will send a link to a video. I'll try and find one. I don't even know if there is one. But basically what you do is you, all these points are connected until the stop. So that means when I plot 0, 9, and then 2, 8, and all the blah, 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 I connect those dots, and then I stop where it says stop. And I start a new line, and then I stop. And then a new line and stop. New line, stop. New line, stop. So eventually I will create a picture using these. Now I'd love for you guys to take this a step further and actually color it so it looks like, shade it so it looks 3D, like it's coming out of the page. If you need any help with that, look it up on YouTube, how to color 3D objects or how to shade them. So I would love for you to do that because these are all going to be 3D and unique. So we can get together and we can show each other what we created. On the last page, for Cade and Chloe, there's 2 of these logic puzzles for Minecraft. Cade requested the last 2. For Brigham, you've got 1, and for this day, and then Brigham, you have 1 on the next packet. And so you'll notice it's simpler, but it's so good for your brain and such a good exercise. So, all right, that's packet 1. Now, for our November 2nd class, we're going to build on those graphing the linear equations, and we are going to kill zombies, all right? And you're going to do this whole sheet. You've had enough practice, enough time for your brain to like really, come to grips with what's happening. And remember, you need at least 2 to 3 points, and choose numbers that make sense. If I have a -3 here, maybe I'm going to multiply by a +3 and a -3 and that sort of thing, okay? So that I can get 2 points to create a graph, and then you're going to link up, like say A killed this zombie, then I find the zombie here and I put A in there. And so you're just going to find out which zombie is killed with each graph. All right? And you'll do that whole page. Then for this one, this is reflection and symmetry with hidden picture. And this is actually a lot of fun. Color, shade, make it look interesting and fun. So you'll actually create the picture in one quadrant, and then you will translate that over to the other quadrants. And then for Cade and Chloe, you have this Halloween logic puzzle. Brigham, I knew you'd probably like just say shoot me now if I gave you this logic puzzle. So for Brigham, you have this other one. But just so you know, Brigham, I gave you the hardest 3D coordinate plate. Just kidding. Just the hardest to shade, because I know that you have a gift for that. So, and that's everything for your packets, you guys. For every picture you turn in of completed work, you're going to earn, for these 2 weeks, you're going to earn 50 points. And everything needs to be in before I get back. So, and then for these packets, like 100 points to have these done. And if you feel like you want to go crazy and do more of this, you can. But I will warn you that this hidden picture is going to take some time. And, oh, and this actually goes with your lessons too. Sorry, I forgot to mention that this covers, so all of these packets cover what you're doing. So here we have the first packet, and I told you where that was kind of being covered, and then we have this packet. Now, the last thing I want to mention that I'm going to mention on Zoom tomorrow is right by the Zoom link for October 26th. If you go over, you can find polynomial online games. And I'd love for you to go through and, kind of explore and play some of those to solidify your knowledge of polynomials. That's what you're covering in the other lessons that week. And they're pretty fun games, actually. I'm like trying to do this like backwards without like even seeing it. That is probably not gonna work. And then on November 2nd, if you go all the way over, oh, there wasn't anything. So I'll probably just copy paste on both days. You could do some of those games for polynomials to kind of solidify, okay? But these are the lessons that are in this packet with the quadrant plane, and I've just been trying to kind of combine stuff into a fun